Welcome to the Football Amigo show. I see how you're dancing already. I have
Mm-hmm.
a feeling that you're celebrating your draw against United, against City.
Sam, don't set me up. The Arsenal fans will just be lambasting me if I do that one. Yeah.
No, but we'll talk about that. Welcome to the Football Amigo show. This is Samuel, and on the other side of the screen, we have Amigo Ayo.
The one and
And
only.
as you guys know, our coach, Coach Mide, the able presenter, is not here today. So we're just gonna kick this on and get some no banter today. It would be nice to have some banter, but hey, Man United had a win, so we can't put them on the spot again. But how you doing, amigo Ayo?
I'm doing well, Sam. I'm doing too well, Sam. Just glad to be on the podcast again and glad to be talking about soccer. Like, really, really exciting things happened. I mean, I think they were exciting, and I'm glad to, just talk shop with you over the last few games that came last week. Do you want to take it? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's start with Ateta. Ateta in the media said a bunch of people were calling him. It felt like a win. He said they were surprised with what they did to City. I have to
hmm
say it was a game, but I don't think people should be calling Ateta. I think on paper Arsenal should be winning that game. I mean, on paper going into that game. What's your thoughts about the game? What's your thoughts about the scoreline?
I think it's just a game between two top teams and making adjustments. Um, my Man City played in a way that we haven't seen them play in a long time, if ever, and Arteta had to adapt and change his game plan to get a result. I was expecting it to be a little bit more one sided, but honestly, looking back and even going into the game, I would have felt confident about us really, really taking the game to them and beating them resoundingly if we just had our starting team from last season. Like, this was a game that I felt like if Kai was in the center to actually get the handle the balls, the high balls, if Odegaard were there to like manage and they pressed to get, I told them were pressing and putting pressure on Man City's defense, we would have caused so many transition. And then if Saka was there, oh my God, from the beginning, I think it would have been uh, a layup, an easy game. But we didn't have those players. We had a lot of players that were not used to playing together, and a lot of players, particularly, that were not good at pressing. And so Gyökeres, Madueke, these are not strong pressers of the ball. And I think to compensate that, that's why you start seeing players like Trossard, you start seeing players like Mourinho, because you don't want Man City to get going. That's the one thing you don't want to, because whenever they do, they hurt you. And I feel like that trade off affected how we were being offensive. So it was a tricky game. It's like it's still Haaland, and he showed us why we had to be a lot more cautious because we didn't want to play a fast attacking game where both teams can break at each other. Because some of what Man City is doing this season, especially you see with the coach Pep Linders, is about fast transitions. So you don't want to be the receiving end of that, but you want to hurt them. And so it was a balancing act. It was I don't feel any which way about it. I wish we had won, but I don't really see the game as something that we can like use to say like Arteta's a negative coach. I think he's just a realistic coach, which as any coach, you have to weigh the pros and cons of every given situation and manage it adequately. Like what did you think? Like I know you already started saying by like it was disappointing and Arsenal should have won. Don't you think that Man City had a lot of threat?
No, I don't think it was disappointing at all. I really
Oh,
think big credit to Ateta. Here's why. I like the substitution halftime. It was like we need to attack. We need to bring our attacking game on. So quick decision from him. Yes, big credit, for Martinelli getting some win again. The only thing that I didn't like is it felt like a win at the press conference, but it's not. It's not. Arsenal shouldn't be settling for that against Man City. Given that Man City didn't want to win that game, they just wanted to come and get a draw. Because when you look at it, when they scored, what were they doing? They were
Yeah.
playing like Burnley, like
Yeah.
all. They just trying to defend everything. They were just not ready to play.
So with
They
that
came out. They
conversation,
took was it Ireland? They took
yeah,
what was the other striker? Who's the other?
I mean Doku stayed sooner, but I believe they took Reinders out, and they took
Yeah, they took two attackers out.
yeah, I'm sure
Who's
Foden
the
was
other
out
person?
very
I
a
can't.
lot. Very,
Yeah.
yeah, it was,
So they
but
they were like comfortable with 1-0. They were comfortable. They just wanted to defend all through and see the game through. Because one, they're scared, I guess.
yeah, just from my
Sweet. Keep going
perspective,
then.
we pressed him, we forced him into that position. So that's essentially what Guardiola said. He said that by halftime they'd lost their what's it called control of the game, and they were unable to impose themselves on the game again, and so they were forced into retreating, and because they were forced into retreating, he was like, I might as well defend, and so he took off offensive players because they were already playing a 5-4-1 in defense. So he just brought in players that can actually play that system, and that was a testament to how well Arsenal were imposing themselves on the game. Like it was the lowest possession in Guardiola's time in the Premier League throughout the entire time. Like that's the lowest possession Man City have ever had, and that was a reflection of just how much pressure was put. I mean, an argument could have been made in a sense that whenever a team wants to sit deep, you want to invite them to your side. And I think we should have tried to do that more because it was a one time they had a foray into our box when they had a counter and we recovered the ball that we actually hurt them and scored because we pulled them so far out that there was space to run in behind, and maybe we should have actually invited them. So I think one thing that maybe I'll criticize Arsenal is I don't think Arteta is very confident in inviting teams to attack them. Basically, like Liverpool used to do that very well to mixed results, where it's like we give you forays into our side of the pitch so that the game is now open and we can hit you in response. And sometimes it's just good because whenever a team like packs themselves so far back, no matter how good you are, it gets hard to break them down if you're disciplined. For your perspective, like Liverpool and Burnley, for example, like you wouldn't call Burnley a class team, but when they got back, it was almost impossible for Liverpool to break them down. And so sometimes you want to invite the opposition to your half, and I don't think Arteta does that enough, which is it's a form of risk management. And like you invite a team like Man City to come at you, they might just hurt you. But I think he should be able to do that a little bit more, especially with smaller teams.
No, I agree. Yeah, they lost control of the game. But even before uh, Arsenal took over, once they scored, they just started like you see what's his name? Gabriel pushing forward to fight. They're not doing anything to push you guys back. Even before halftime. So the Arsenal is just better. Arsenal is better. And it also tells us that cities on paper they might look good with some new players. They still shaking.
Oh yeah,
But very good recovery from Arsenal's team.
yeah, yeah. It's
Let's talk
since
about a team that is also shaky as well. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm ready to move on. I was just
Hello.
saying that City have been showing that they're vulnerable, and I think the reason why they're
Yeah.
taking a defensive setup is I don't think Pep knows how to manage his transitions against them, and they're too light in the midfield. It's not quite working. Rodri is not
Mhm.
quite up to 100% fitness, so they know that if they play an expansive game, they're going to be played through. And so, in the meantime, while they figure it out, their best option for themselves is to sit back and try and hit on the counter, which is a very conservative way. Like this is not a way that I would ever have pictured Pep to play, but uh, challenging times come for like different actions. He's desperate times comes for desperate actions, and that's how it
That's
looks with
right.
him. It's crazy. Yeah.
I wish Midday is here to take that words and take it to Amaran, because it seems like Amaran doesn't understand that there'll be time that you have to change. I hope they don't lose next weekend, man. But anyway, let's talk about the team that also looks a little shaky, a little vulnerable. Liverpool. Liverpool played against Everton. Interesting derby game.
Mhm.
I think Everton came out, showed out. Um, it was a game for us to win. I think everything set up was set up pretty well for us to win that game. But one thing that I noticed is Liverpool lately we start off pretty well, then we let our foot off the gas, and that's where opponents start coming in and just doing all these crazy things that we've been seeing lately. I think Everton is one thing to watch this season. But I don't think they're gonna get in the top four or whatnot. But incredible coach that they have over there. But I don't have too much things to say other than it is pathetic that Liverpool can't keep clean sheet. It
Mhm.
makes us look a little weak. 5 out of 5 is incredible, but Premier League 1-0 doesn't cut it. We don't want to. You just don't want to keep stacking those 1-0. It's a win, but you want to, you know, be you want people to be praying and preparing like crazy if they're coming against Liverpool. It's not like they know that okay, we're gonna get a goal. They might win us, but we're gonna get a goal. But I like what I saw. Other than them dropping the ball, I like what I saw in terms of the midfield again. Saboslite is back. Made the midfield stronger, dynamic. So, yeah, did you see the game? Any thoughts
I
on the game?
did. I did. I watched the game. I mean, it was fine. I think Liverpool controlled large sections. I mean, they were able to limit the threat for the most part. Um, and I also think Arne Slot likes to play in waves. He likes intense moments. Then he's just like they fluctuate in terms of intensity because it's really a regulated game press. They just understand they can't do it for like 90 minutes, so they just do it for periods of time where they try and maximize those moments and then take it easy and then maximize. Um, yeah, I just saw a professional game. I mean, it's Everton. You're gonna always gonna face the best version of them, and they're gonna ask questions. Yeah, I thought Liverpool were fine. I didn't see anything that I watched where I was like they were in too much danger. Like the goal they conceded was a fantastic goal. Like,
Exactly. It was a fantastic goal. My
yeah,
God, I
so
saw it. I was like, yeah, this is some good ball. Yeah.
yeah, so like I don't know how much they could have done about. And other than that, they limited Everton's chances, which I think is a good sign of a strong team. I mean, yeah, the risks they play with, you think it might backfire at some point, but so far it's 5 games with 5 wins, so there's something has to be said. The one thing I will say though is I know Isak is getting in there, but like just like a TK guy, what do you think of this who's Liverpool's number one striker? There can only be one, Sam, but it looks like it's gonna be a TK. What do you think?
Well, I like the rotation that I'm seeing. Of course, Isak came in on Champions League. It's good to see him get some minutes there. Ekatike is right now is more comfortable with Premier League, so I don't know, which is weird. It was just weird. Um, but I think for now, I'll let the coach decide. But for me, I think I like what I'm saying. Ekatike can, keep us get things going. Of course, he's not gonna play the next 2 3 games, uh, because of uncontrollable behavior. Yeah, I don't
Against
know how best to put it.
Southampton.
Yeah, I don't know why you would think, but again, there's so many things to be said about that. It gives Isak plenty of game time, and definitely give Chiesa as well some more minutes. I would think, which is one of the things that I like. Excuse me. I like that we have this depth. We have these great rotation tools that we can bring in with in the attacking side. So yeah,
Speaking of Chiesa, he seems to be returning back to his best self.
I think
Like,
we would have seen his best if he had more minutes.
yeah,
Uh, but we'll see.
I, I think it's just the injury that slowed him down. But
Mm,
like, it looks like he's regaining that confidence because like Chiesa is a scary player. Like whenever before he started getting injured, he's a scary player, and so like he looks like they're building him back up slowly but surely. Like,
yeah,
and that might, yeah, maybe this Gakpo thing, and we're talking about on the left, it might just be Chiesa that's coming back to take that position.
possibly,
Yeah.
possibly. Um, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Let's talk about United Chelsea.
I wish Vinay was here, man. Look at him be like, my Nets are back. We're going to dominate the
Yeah.
league. I'm telling you.
Oh
every
man.
week, Vinay's oscillating. He's like, we're so back. Oh, we're so gone. Oh, we're so back. we're so
Oh
Oh,
man. What do you think of the game? The red cards. It's just
you gotta build a team. You gotta build a
yeah.
team. Any weakness, any sloppiness will be exploited. Like Sanchez is just not it. His decision making is it was a horrible, horrible decision that he made. Like any other decision he could have made would have been better. You stay in your box. You let it go. You just like so many things. You just have let it go. You got beat. You get beat. Like it's a long game, and he just did what he did, which was like he didn't even really look like he was going for the ball. It just looks like he just stopped the player, and so it was a straight red, and it changed the dynamics. In Man United's perspective, they started so intense. They started with a lot of purpose, a lot of drive, a lot of commitment, and it looked like Chelsea weren't going to be able to live with them. I understand the game would have probably balanced out after a couple of minutes. However, the intensity was so much so that Chelsea buckled, and so they had to play the rest of the game with 10 man. Regardless, though, Man United still found a way to make it interesting with Casemiro.
Yeah, he's
Oh man.
you have to learn to appreciate players like that. Uh honestly. I mean for his age, despite all
Oh.
the it came from Real Madrid. It was used
Mhm,
to winning and being on the team like this instability is just like the order of the day. So
mhm.
whenever he shows up with grit, a very good attitude. So I just learned to like him, man. But again, horrible decision as well. Um, it's part of the game. But let's talk about Chelsea. Chelsea
Mm,
is stacked up. They unfortunately Garnacho didn't feature in that game. He was warming up. I think he didn't get a minute.
yeah.
They are stacked up pretty well. What do you think went wrong? If there was no red card for Sanchez, do you think they would have won that game?
I don't know about one, but I don't think the game would have been that one sided for him. I think they would have made the necessary adjustments to manage what Man United were doing. I get the sense that Man United is a very tricky team for a top side to play. It's when they get to mid table teams and like what's it called lower tier teams that some all of a sudden it stops to work because what I think is their system is based on inviting people in. They want people to come at them, and then they can move the ball and do really, really clever things. But if you're just gonna sit there disciplined and say, "Just come at me," and then it's much harder for them. Yeah, but Chelsea, I think, just weak in defense uh, and weak in goalkeeper. You invest, but you got to invest across the team and I don't think they've made the necessary investment to that centre back pairing. And I think didn't they get Hato, Gerald Hato? Was that
I
them?
believe so. Yeah.
Or was that Tottenham? No, no, it's they were right. They got Hato, but whatever.
Uh, no, keep going.
Yeah, whatever it is, they don't have a settled back defensive pair, and their goalkeeper is just not up to the required quality. And when that's the case, it just things like this happen. And if you're super unlucky, then the game is gone. I don't think Sanchez gave Chelsea a fighting chance that game, and yeah, they got to recruit across the entire squad. And that's the same thing with Man United. Like to be so dominant and only scored 2 goals, and the second one wasn't that impressive from my perspective. I think that also doesn't speak very highly. I think Dorgo is a problem. I think for the amount of play that flows through the wing backs, you need better quality wing backs, or you're not going to create enough chances, or you're not going to create good enough final actions. Throughout when they were a man up, there's so many times Dorgu had the ball and he was him to take the final action, and his decision making let him down. And I was like, you kind of have to maximize these moments. And but that's a long term vision because in a game where central areas are going to be squeezed because you're playing against 11 men, and then the missed passes that Dogu is making, they become more blatant. The inability to find teammates in the final third becomes more of a problem. So that's why I think like even though this happened, I think those two struggle because with losing a player, Chelsea were not able to congest the central areas as well as most teams would do, and so Man United could have progression through central areas, but every time Man United went wide because they wanted to, it just fell apart. And I still think throughout this season they're going to struggle if Dorgu and Diallo are their main attacking threats. Whenever it's Bruno, it's good, but when it's someone on the outside, it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Dogo, I think I mentioned this in the last show. Yeah, he carries the ball pretty well, but end product is just not the greatest. I don't think he's playing. Of course, he's not playing in his natural position. Um, I don't know what they could do. It seems like he's the only confident player outside of Bruno Fernandes that can take the ball into the opponent's box. But again, the final product is terrible. And I also think Mide might disagree. I think having Amad Diallo on the left is not optimal. I
Mm.
think he's good at playing that on the right, just do that little cut in and just kind of drive in a little bit like Salah. But again, Mide, we look forward to hearing your thoughts. We didn't say hello to him at the beginning of the show, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, any other thoughts before we quickly go and do a rapid fire on the games coming up? Brentford is playing United.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, Brentford is like 17, 16 on the table. United is at 11. Then we have Crystal Palace, Liverpool, interesting game. And we also have Newcastle, Arsenal coming up. So, any thoughts on Man United going into this game before you give your predictions?
This week, upcoming week are tough games to call. They're very very 50-50. I just want to say I think Man United will build up on their win and on their way to lifting the Premier League title. I think they'll beat Brentford and probably like 3-0. Bruno Fernandez will score two, and Sesko will score his first goal. I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard to tell what kind of Man United you're gonna see. They're so inconsistent. But there's only at this point. There's only you can only go up, right? I don't see how they'll continue to go down. So I'm gonna be pro Man United. My heart says Man United, so I'll say they're gonna win this game 2-1.
Very good.
Yeah.
Brentford has lost 3 games. They've won one. They've
Yeah.
lost one. And United on the other side, they've lost 2 games, won two, and they also had one draw. Looking at these numbers, of course, it doesn't directly tell us what we'll get, especially from the Man United's point of view. But I don't believe in building on a win from the Manchester United point of view. Uh, I see this game coming off as a win for United, but at the very, very maybe a 1-0 win, if not a 0-0 game.
Mm.
But we'll see. That's gonna be on Saturday, amigos. Like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. We appreciate all the engagement. Let's keep it going. So the next big game for that weekend to me is Crystal Palace, Liverpool. Two teams that haven't lost in this campaign. Do you think we're going to see one of them losing this weekend?
Yeah, and I think that team's going to be Crystal Palace.
Oh wow, this is going to be a way for Liverpool.
I don't think it matters. I mean, there's something in how Liverpool is just moving right now this season. It's like they no matter how the game goes, they always seem to have what is needed offensively. If the game requires them to score two goals, they score two goals. If the game requires them to score one, they score one. If the game requires them to score five, I can back them doing that. There's something about their mentality that's in the right place. They have a ton of leaders. They have a ton of finishers. They look shaky. So I do think that Crystal Palace will get some joy, but I think at the end of it, Liverpool's going to be on top. So my prediction is 3-2 to Liverpool. Yeah.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
funny. I see a lot of goals in that game as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's going to be a win for Liverpool. I almost want to think it's going to be a draw, but I think Mark Gay is going to help us out. Make sure we win this one. But no, I see a 3-1 in this case for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And that one goal is going to be Mateta.
Of course. Who else?
All right, let's talk about the big boys. Newcastle, Arsenal.
Oh man, I hate St. James Park. I hate it. I hate it. I hate
they,
it.
I feel like if I'm
Uh,
not outside of Everton, the other place that I dislike going is
yeah.
Newcastle, then
Uh,
Crystal Palace.
yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. They found a way to just make us look ordinary every time we've gone there in the past 5 years, and so there's nothing that tells me. I mean, I guess there's no Isak, um, but I
But
don't
you
think
have
it
Murphy
matters that
though. You
much.
have Burns.
Yeah, there. Even Gordon, we have a very difficult
Yeah.
time managing his pace. He's very fast. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to think like we do something magical and everything clicks together and we beat them 2-0. But I just like for me, I'm just so frustrated this season because all I really wanted was last season's squad for these kind of games. That's all I wanted. Just all of them fit. That's all. Like we can bring in Gyökeres at minute 70, Eze at 65. Like I mean, Amadouke is injured now. I think for 2 months, but just bring them like let them come in very easily and slowly. Like I trust the this tried and tested starters with games like this when it's going to be like super competitive. It would be desirable because I think it's just going to be a competitive game. But maybe we break our duck. We go there and beat them 2-0. We'll see. Arteta's had like 5 years to figure this out, so hopefully, hopefully he's figured them out. But I'm not. I'm not confident at all. I'm just saying it because I love Arsenal. 2-0, we win, and Guimaraes gets five
Oh, that
five
guy.
five 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 game suspension for headbutting a player.
That guy. No, I totally agree. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, Newcastle is like a pest, man. They could be annoying, man. But I don't see Arsenal not winning this game.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see Arsenal not winning this game. Although the injury is slowly piling up, or the potential, well, game management also is a thing now because you have Saka. I don't think he's ready 100%. But I think this is probably gonna be another Eze uh magician tactic or talisman or whatever you want to call it showing up. With Martinelli being on fire, I can see him doing a lot of damage to Newcastle as well. However, Newcastle defense is a little. It could be annoying. Those tall guys, man,
Mhm.
they
I
could be
think
annoying.
Gilchrist is going to have a hard time.
Yeah,
managing that.
that's
Yeah.
exactly where I was going to. I was going to say, despite all the award for Gyökeres at the Ballon d'Or level, I still don't know when he's gonna get that bright star or that bright light. This is definitely not gonna might not be the game. You never know. You never know. But I look forward to it. I think Martinelli is gonna show out again. Um, but yeah, any final thoughts for the amigos as we wrap up?
No, it's always a pleasure to come on the podcast and talk shop. But yeah, this weekend is a weekend of surprises. I think I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, Arsenal comes out on top and Liverpool get thrashed at Crystal Palace, but
Yeah,
it doesn't feel that way.
you never know. At least we'll come out with a draw. No, but I think Liverpool's gonna come out with a draw. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Any last thing thoughts? Again,
No, it's
you
on to the
think Man
next one.
United? You think
Sorry.
we should? Do you think we should wear black for Man United this week? That's shit time for recording.
No, we're recording after the game, so
Yeah.
I won't say anything here. But like, if they lose, we definitely wear black. Uh,
All right,
uh,
brother. Take it easy, amigos.
oh,
Like, share, subscribe. You can tell that this is me. This job. This is the man that does it. I don't know how to say all of this, but we really appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, do all of those good things. The more you guys give thumbs up, the more people should come and talk about how we talk about your team. So, you guys stay well. Peace.
take care, guys. Bye.